Have you ever looked up at a security camera and just realized it can't actually save you? Like, it's really just a passive witness? Well, welcome to this explainer. Today we're diving into the Sixth Sense AI stack. This system was built for the Gemma-4 competition, and it is literally changing the game for physical safety by shifting surveillance from passively watching to real-time agentic thinking. So if you've been wondering how AI goes from just spotting objects to actually drawing up tactical defense plans on the fly, you are definitely in the right place. Let's get into it.
Thinking is the new sensing. This phrase right here is basically our anchor for today. It perfectly captures this massive shift away from cameras that merely record a tragedy after the fact toward AI that actively reasons to stop it from happening in the first place. You know, there are millions of cameras watching the world right now, but they're essentially blind to context. What we're unpacking today is an AI that doesn't just sense its environment. It thinks about it. It analyzes the context and formulates a response, literally in a fraction of a second.
Okay, so here's our roadmap. We'll start with the surveillance crisis and then map out the 3 layers of this AI brain: the Sentry for rapid detection, the Scout for semantic verification, and the Commander for tactical reasoning, before wrapping up with the future of agentic safety.
All right, part 1, the surveillance crisis. Let's talk about the core problem we're facing today. Standard surveillance systems are blind, acting as mere passive observers when every single second counts.
So here is the classic AI dilemma, right? You essentially have 2 bad choices. You either send your footage to the cloud, which introduces massive, dangerous latency, or you rely on basic local models that are frankly notorious for being pretty dumb, like triggering a false alarm just because a shadow shifted on the wall. But the Sixth Sense solution tackles this speed versus depth paradox locally. It's got the lightning reflexes of a predator combined with the strategic wisdom of a commander. And the best part? Your data never, ever leaves the building.
Moving on to section 2, Sentry, a rapid threat detection layer. Let's put this artificial brain to the test with a specific real-world scenario. We'll call it Case 02, spotting a weapon in a pitch-dark alleyway. Think of the Sentry layer as the system's retina. It's all about rapid detection. Powered by YOLO-World, it operates as a continuous, open vocabulary reflex layer. Now, what does open vocabulary actually mean for us? It means instead of spending months hard-coding the system to recognize a specific new object, you can literally just type "abandoned backpack" in plain English, and boom, it instantly knows exactly what to look for. It constantly scans the environment, instantly catching any relevant motion or specific item. Just look at that blistering speed. The Sentry picks up the initial motion of our suspect in a mere 30 milliseconds. To put that into perspective, it takes you about 300 milliseconds just to blink. Running at 33 frames per second, this layer is built 100% for raw reaction. So, in our Case 02 alleyway setup, the exact instant a figure shifts in the shadows, the Sentry flags it. But just flagging motion isn't enough on its own. We need to know exactly what we're looking at.
And that brings us perfectly to section 3, Scout, which handles semantic threat verification. This is the second layer where those raw, lightning-fast alerts get carefully audited. So the Scout layer steps in as the cognitive filter. It's powered by small VLM, a vision language model, and its entire job is semantic verification. It basically takes the Sentry's initial alert and audits it to create a visual narrative. For instance, it uses a really clever hands-first protocol. This lets the AI figure out, okay, is this metallic object spotted by the Sentry just a maintenance worker holding a wrench? Or is it an actual hostile subject holding a weapon? It is the ultimate false alarm killer. In just 400 milliseconds, the Scout confirms our Case 02 scenario. We have a subject holding a knife. And it manages to do this using built-in anti-glare logic. It's basically like giving the AI polarized sunglasses so it can completely ignore those harsh streetlights that usually trick older legacy cameras into hallucinating things like fires. So wrap your head around this. In under half a second, we've gone from a raw motion alert to a semantically verified threat, an armed subject in a dark alleyway. Section 4, Commander for automated tactical reasoning. Once the threat is locked in and verified, the system kicks the crisis up to the deepest layer of the hierarchy for some serious strategic planning. Acting as the frontal lobe, the Commander takes over for tactical reasoning. It ingests the Scout's verified narrative, but instead of just blindly barking an alarm, it logically plans out an observe, contain, and neutralize strategy. It's powered by Gemma-4 E2B, an extended reasoning model, and uses thinking tokens to execute chain-of-thought reasoning. Simply put, the AI is literally talking the problem out to itself before it acts.
This right here is the exact moment we cross the line from basic surveillance into true agentic intelligence. And this perfectly illustrates the agentic output, a precise, fully automated tactical response. The commander doesn't just ring a bell. It draws up a structured three-phase action plan. For our case 02, it specifically outlines neutralizing the weapon threat, establishing an observation perimeter, and alerting backup. And honestly, the wildest part? The AI even does its own paperwork. Every single incident, along with its entire thought process, gets automatically filed away into a searchable JSON intelligence feed. It creates an instant, permanent forensic dossier, completely hands-free.
All of this complex reasoning is generated at 24.5 tokens per second. It's kind of like the AI is speed reading and writing at the exact same time. Now, in the AI world, cold starts, which is the time it takes to actually load a model into memory, can be absolutely deadly in a fast-moving crisis. But by keeping persistent server instances running quietly in the background, there is zero cold start delay here. Going from seeing the weapon to generating a full tactical plan is almost instantaneous. Finally, Section 5, the future of agentic safety. To wrap up this explainer, we really need to look at this secret sauce that makes running this massive complex stack on standard edge devices even possible. It all comes down to this stand-down protocol. It's a genius piece of gatekeeper logic that drastically cuts down on compute overhead. Now, you might be wondering, how on earth does a local system run 3 distinct AI models at the same time without melting? Well, the answer is smart resource management. Layers 1 and 2, our Sentry and Scout, are monitoring constantly. But Layer 3, that heavy dude commander we just talked about, it stays entirely dormant to save VRAM. It only wakes up when a high-confidence threat is absolutely 100% verified.
Thanks to that clever protocol, this entire 100% private local inference stack runs on just 4.4 gigabytes of VRAM. Just think about that for a second. Your web browser with 20 tabs open right now probably uses more memory than this entire tri-layered Elite stack. You absolutely do not need a multi-million-dollar cloud-connected data center to get world-class agentic security. It fits right on a standard, everyday consumer laptop. It's just wild. And when you look at the hardware scaling matrix, the implications are huge. On current professional cards, the total response time sits around 1.2 seconds. But as we transition to future consumer architectures, like the projected RTX 5060 Blackwell series, that time plummets to an unbelievable 0.2 of a second. The whole shebang, detecting motion, semantically verifying a weapon, and writing out a tactical plan, happens faster than human reaction speeds. Literally instantaneous autonomous intelligence. So, I'll leave you with this question to chew on. If our AI can now think as fast as it sees, what happens when our digital guardians stop just watching our backs and actively start protecting them? By stacking the raw speed of YOLO-World, the visual auditing of small VLM, and the strategic reasoning of Gemma-4, we are staring at the foundational blueprint for the future of physical security. If these systems can think as fast as they see, the era of passive recording is officially over. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep questioning how the tech around us is evolving. See you next time!